more competition and give consumer powers to students. Universities will have to compete with each other and the private sector for students, and they will be held accountable for the quality of their teaching. The Universities Minister, David Willett, said the white paper aimed to put students in the driving seat. Our education correspondent Rita Chakrabarti reports.
Universities come in all shapes and sizes, offering academic and vocational courses. Ministers want future students who'll be paying up to £9,000 in tuition fees to know more about what they'll get, viewing them as consumers who'll demand more because they're paying more. Ministers will require universities to release details of teaching hours that students get, teaching quality, including tutors' expertise, and employment rates of graduates once they leave.
It'll really drive universities to think about, well, how crowded are our seminars? How much practical experience do they get in the labs? How much work experience do we provide? Because those are things that students care about, and we want students to know exactly what's being offered.
To begin with, welcome to the University of West London.
An open day at a London university for prospective students for 2012. They'll face average fees of £7,500 here and are taking great care to weigh up their options.
You're almost guaranteed a sort of job or a placement or work experience, which is something like, obviously in this sort of climate that we are with the lack of jobs, that's really important. It's something that really appealed to me, actually.
There are other changes expected too. Instead of all universities having a fixed number of students as now, some will be allowed to expand, although the overall number of students will stay the same. Ministers want to introduce an element of competition, removing some of the rules that fix the number of students that universities can recruit. So elite universities will be able to take on more bright students, while those charging lower fees will also be able to expand. The question is, what happens to those who are just stuck in the middle? The Vice-Chancellor of West London acknowledges they could be part of the squeezed middle. Can they weather the changes?
I hope so. Since we've got good weather today, you've got to be optimistic about it. I think we can, as long as we get the price, as long as we get the market, and as long as we get the students to understand that paying back the loans will be over a long, long period and will be based on income.
Ministers were surprised that half of all English universities are charging £9,000 for all or some of their courses. That's expensive, as fees are paid up front by the government.
They're desperately now trying to cut the cost of some degrees, but I fear doing it in a way which will cut quality and offer too many students a lower quality degree, not the sort of degree that's going to enable them to compete in what we've learned today is a very competitive jobs market.
These are big changes for students wanting more for their money and universities competing in a market. There'll be winners and losers, but it may be some time before we know who they are. Rita Chakrabarti, BBC News.